Hello everyone, and in this video, we're going to be building a stylish 12-volt LED dimmer that will allow you to precisely dim your 12-volt LED strips. It can support currents of up to 5 amps, and because it uses voltage dimming technology, flickering is a non-issue when recording video. It's also super efficient thanks to its well-designed module. So, without further talking, let's build this thing. Here's the list of materials you will need for this build. All purchasing links are in the description. I start this project off by closing the lid of my project box, and using double-sided adhesive, I attach a drilling guide that I created in Photoshop. I then carefully use a small drill bit to make 2 small holes in the red cross. Make sure to go slowly with the drill bit, as going too fast will risk cracking the plastic. The top hole we created with the small drill bit will need to fit a potentiometer. So, using a drill bit the same diameter as the potentiometer, I carefully widen the hole. The second hole is a little bit more difficult to make, as it needs to fit a 12-volt LED switch. I started using the largest drill bit I have, and used a sander to widen the hole until the switch fits. I then used wire cutters to trim off any unwanted plastic produced while widening the hole. Then I made sure the hole can actually fit the button before moving on. I then used a scoring pad to give the glossy plastic a professional brushed aluminum look. You want to make sure you only go back and forth, and that you do this on all sides of the project box. As you can see, the result we got was quite nice. Now, let's move on to building the dimmer circuit. I first soldered 2 short extension wires to the 2 pins of the potentiometer as shown by this diagram. Then, using a wire cutter, I trim off the metal on the side of the potentiometer to ensure the potentiometer will fit in the hole. I then used heat shrink to protect the pins on the potentiometer, but you can also use electrical tape if you don't have heat shrink. Now it's time to work on the button. I first soldered a wire from the 12-volt pin of the button to the C pin label. Using wire cutters, I cut off the excess wire. Then I soldered 3 extra wires to the button, one of which goes to the ground of the 12-volt light, the other goes to the NO pin, and the last wire goes to the C pin alongside with the 12 volts of the LED light on the button. The C pin wire will need to be soldered to the positive input hole on the voltage regulator module. The ground wire coming from the button's LED will go to the ground's input on the voltage regulator. Be sure to trim off any excess wires that may occur during the soldering process. Then, the wire coming from the NO pin from the button will be soldered to the positive leads of my 12-volt power supply. The ground wire for the power supply must be tinned first and then soldered directly to the ground of the voltage regulator module. I then soldered 2 more extension leads to the output of the voltage regulator module. Although not shown here, 2 extra holes were drilled on the top of the box to allow the input and output wires to pass through. The 2 extension wires that we soldered before the potentiometer needs to be attached to the variable resistor on the voltage regulator module as shown in this diagram. Then, connect a multimeter to the output wires of the module and ensure the potentiometer is turned all the way counterclockwise. Using a flathead screwdriver, turn the variable resistor clockwise until 12 volt is reached. Now, you can test this circuit by turning the potentiometer and the voltage to smoothly adjust itself. I added an additional 2.6 kilo-ohm resistor to the potentiometer wire going to the variable resistor to set the minimum voltage for the dimmer. Now it's just a matter of soldering the male connector so that the dimmer can be easily attached to any 12-volt LED strip, and then also solder the wires coming from the power supply. using either heat shrink or electrical tape to prevent any possible shorts. The last thing you need to do is to add a nice looking knob, and you are done. Just plug in the 12-volt supply and enjoy your newly built stylish dimmer. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next time with another DIY build.